Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining me. My name is Steve, and I'm just an American guy on a journey to discover my English and Irish ancestry. On this journey so far, the past few days, I've been learning about the Queen, and now I've been learning about the Queen's Guard a little bit. The last video I reacted to 11 interesting facts about the Guard, so after this video, if you're interested, go check out that video. But I'm interested in learning everything I can about the Queen, even though she has passed away now. I want to know who she was, what her role was, in Britain. I want to know all of these different things about the monarchy, the Queen's Guard, which I guess will now be the King's Guards. And everything else you can think of about England, UK, Britain, Ireland. Anyways, guys, so let's check this out. What do the Queen's Guards actually do? I don't really know. Like the last video, it gave me some interesting facts about them, but outside of the fact I know now they basically guard the Queen, I guess, but what all do they do? What are their rituals? That's what I'm hoping this video goes into and actually tells me. What do they actually do outside of just guarding the Queen? Well, let's get started.
This video was made possible by Wix. If you're ready to create a website, head on over to wix.com/go/infographics2019 to try out one of their premium plans right now. Queen Elizabeth II is the longest-serving British monarch and is the current longest-serving monarch in the world. Since she took the throne in 1952, much has changed in the UK.
Such a long time.
You could say the British people are not, on the whole, as enamored with the royal family as they were when she took the throne. But despite polls in 2018 revealing that 2/3 of the British public were not interested in the royal wedding, it seems for the most part people are not interested in getting rid of their royals. We can only find one instance when someone
That's interesting. So most British people seem to not really be that interested in what the royal family is doing, but we like them. That's how it feels like. We like them. They've been around here forever. Yeah, we'll keep them. That's at least what that sounded like. Is that the way it is in Britain?
Take out the Queen, and that was only revealed years later when declassified spy papers told us a New Zealand teenager had planned to do just that in 1981. So what do the Queen's Guard do with themselves all day? Welcome to this episode of the Infographics Show. What does the Queen's Guard actually do? If you saw our show titled How Much Protection Does the Royal Family Get?, you'll know that the royal family has around-the-clock protection, and that comes in many forms. We're not just talking about the main royals that we all know, but the many other members of this family. The Queen might be supported by her guards, but you have other outfits such as Scotland Yard's Royalty and Specialist Protection Service, also offering armed protection when she's at home and when she goes on the road. While it seems the royals don't have many enemies, who knows if someone is willing to spend years in prison for their 5 minutes of fame. That's why when you see her driving down the street, she'll be surrounded by an armed and very skilled special escort group. So with this in mind, does she really need a Queen's Guard? First of all, you all likely know who we're talking about when we say the Queen's Guard, since you've all seen pictures of these men that wear those large furry hats and dress in red and black. These people are not just for show, however, and they fill a role in protecting the Queen. The Guard is made up of infantry and cavalry soldiers, and they work in what's called the Household Division. That means you'll find them doing their duty at Buckingham Palace, St. James Palace, Windsor Castle, and some other places.
So are they at those places, all those different places, even when the Queen's not there? And so it sounds to me they are which I already thought they were, basically a segment of the military. Like they're a special force of the military. They're already in the military, and then they apply to be the Queen's Guard after they're in the military. That's, I guess, would make sense anyway.
Source tells us that the Queen spends most of her time at Buckingham Palace, although she goes to Windsor Castle on most weekends, visits Balmoral Castle in Scotland for long periods of time, and for Christmas often visits Sandringham House in Norfolk. We're told that the Queen's Guard is mainly split into two parts. And those two parts will be posted either at Buckingham Palace or St. James Palace.
Okay.
When the Queen is staying at Buckingham Palace, there are usually 3 officers working there as well as 40 other ranks. There will also be 4 sentries at the palace. They work night and day, sometimes staying in one spot, while others will walk around the grounds. The Foot Guards might be part of the Grenadier Guards, the Scots Guards, the Irish Guards, the Welsh Guards, or the Coldstream Guards. If you visit Buckingham Palace at the right time, you might actually see the changing of the guard. Okay, so now we should ask if these guys ever have any trouble. In the past, the guards did have a few run-ins with a disgruntled public, but for the most part in modern times, they haven't really been tested. Perhaps the biggest case and some blushes for the guards was when a man called Michael Fagan managed to get past them in 1982.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, get into the Queen's bedroom.
I saw that on that other video I was watching about the Queen. He actually got into the house twice. I guess it was Buckingham Palace. But he snuck in there twice. One time he snuck in and snuck out. The other time he got caught by the Queen. Man, that's insane. How he was able to get around those guys. I don't know how that was possible.
This was a huge thing back in the day. Some sources, maybe not that reliable, say that Fagan only did it because he had been in the pub with his friends and he had bet them £5 that he could get into the Queen's bedroom.
What?
He managed to scale a wall, climb up a drain pipe, and then it's said by sheer luck he ended up on the balcony outside the right bedroom. There are, after all, many bedrooms in Buckingham Palace. Stories differ as to what happened next, with some reports saying the Queen was startled and Fagan said to her, "Relax, sister, you don't have to worry, I'm Irish." We doubt the veracity of the source, though. Other reports say he just left the room and was subsequently apprehended by police, who probably should have been on the scene sooner. He was not charged for trespassing, but for stealing some royal wine. In the end, he was sent to a psychiatric hospital. After hearing this, you might be wondering when the Queen's Guard were, but the Queen's Guards were already beaten as they remained outside the palace. The fault was theirs, but also the police officer that was supposed to be guarding the room. The sentry job sounds kind of boring, as they just stand there for long periods of time. We're told that they have the order: you may not eat, sleep, smoke, stand easy, sit, or lie down during your tour of duty. In a 2-hour period every 10 minutes, they will pace back and forth where they are stationed. This can be amusing for tourists as the sentries look so serious. Tourists in the past have gotten in the way of the sentry, and if that happened, he would shout, "Make way for the Queen's Guard." He might also shout, "Stand back from the Queen's Guard." And if that isn't heeded, then he's forced to point his rifle at you. Unfortunately, some members of the public, mostly tourists, still get in these guards' way, and so their posts have largely been removed from where they could be interfered with. In an interview, one guard said that being tormented by tourists was starting to take its toll, and he was glad their posts were now in a place where the public couldn't get too close. He told Stars and Stripes in the US, "It's about time. We've had enough of that one. They'd stick pins in you, some of them." Another guard said that it was
like people just like trying to get under your skin every day, over and over and over again. It's like, yeah, that would get old after a while. Hey, it's like, hey guys, I'm just doing my job. I'm not supposed to talk. I'm just supposed to stand here. You might think I look funny or whatever, but like, what, this is starting to get on my nerves having to deal with this every day. I can imagine. That would be frustrating. I can imagine.
It's fine that people wanted photos and even got up close, but he said some tourists would throw banana skins in their path.
Why?
While others would stick oranges in their bayonet.
Like what? Like, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that happens, but like, why? What is the point in that? Why would someone be so rude to someone who's just doing their job? It's like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand that. I don't think I personally know anybody who would actually do that. I might go up there and just, not right up to their face, but go up there and like, wow, it's pretty interesting, how still they stand. But like to just go and, mess with their gun and poke them with needles and like throw things at them. It's like, dude, they're just doing their job. Like, what in the world is wrong with you? That annoys me for them. I can only imagine how they feel if they're having to deal with that. Well, they don't anymore, but I guess because they're not in the same place. But if when they did, that would be that'd be hard to deal with.
bayonets or pull their bearskin Busby hats.
Really?
That same guard said this,
Wow.
which doesn't sound all that bad. Women sometimes wanted to come up and try to hold hands. Lots of women slip things into our pocket when we're wearing greatcoats, things like addresses and telephone numbers. The Australian media said in 2018, people must be aware that while guards may seem unshakable, if someone really does something to annoy them or become too much of a nuisance, they will react. Still, one guardsman said most of the time their weapons are not loaded. You only carry live
What?
rounds if there's a high threat level
Wait.
that someone will attack.
Wait, you're protecting the queen, right? And your gun isn't loaded? Wait, what? Did I hear that correct? What?
Still, one guardsman said most of the time their weapons are not loaded. You only carry live rounds if there's a high threat level that someone will attack, he said.
I really don't understand that. Like, if I was the queen, I'm a high profile person. I want the people protecting me to actually have their guns loaded, ready to fight if needed. I mean, they got a bayonet on the front, obviously, but still, like, what? Maybe I guess there's probably other guards inside the palace and or some other places on the grounds that do have their weapons loaded, I guess. But that's just surprising. That is really surprising.
But I've never carried any. According to him, they must look serious at all times. If they're caught laughing or even chatting with a tourist, he said they're liable to be fined around $355. You're allowed to get them away by shouting warnings at them, the guard said. If they fail to move or start to act aggressively, we present our bayonets to remind them that we can do more harm than them. Another thing is, all that standing can be hard work, and some guards have been known to pass out. If they think they're going to faint, it's said that they have to do that in a disciplined way. It's called a feint to attention. You have to feint to attention, a Major Di Bevan of the Welsh Guards told the Times newspaper.
That's crazy.
It will probably involve a broken nose and a whole lot of missing teeth. You can find photos online of what it looks like, but it seems that they also have some fun. An article in BuzzFeed, which took the information from former guards, tells us that they would give each other funny or sometimes insulting nicknames. They would act around too, with one guard trying to say if they got the chance to sit on the throne, they would do it and take a selfie. If you get a chance to sit on the throne of England, you aren't going to pass it up, he said. Other documents say some guards would allow their friends to park in St. James Palace, while another document said some guards would sneak the lady friends of Prince Andrew into the palace. So while they might look like inhumans to the tourist, they are certainly not unlike any of the rest of us. In a Reddit Q&A, a guard talked about many aspects of his work, saying if you want to be one of them, you must pass a few tests and also have the smarts about you. He said that it helps to be tall. He said that while much of what they do is ceremonial, they are also security. He just added that if things do turn awry, police are usually there as a backup. Asked if he ever had spoken to the Queen, he replied, yeah, when I was at...
Yeah, but you're security, but you don't have a weapon on you that's loaded. I mean, maybe that's, or maybe they have a handgun on their person, but if your rifle's not loaded, I don't understand that. I'll never understand that. It doesn't make any sense. If you're guarding the Queen, why are you not loaded? I mean, I get that. I mean, I guess maybe when you were in contact with the public, they thought there's a risk that someone, some people in the public would run to you and grab your weapon and then do some damage. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was a safety precaution for the public. I don't know. I don't know. I just find that is one thing that I find really interesting, that the guns weren't usually loaded. I don't know. I bet there's way more to that, the reasoning behind that, than I know right now. So it probably does make sense, what their reason is. I just don't have that reason right now. If someone knows the reason why their guns aren't loaded, please let me know in the comments. Thank you.
At guard on Windsor Castle, she came up to me with her husband and the dogs and asked me some questions. She's really nice. He seemed to like his job, saying only occasionally people would try and annoy him. Although he did say on any given day about 200 tourists would try and make him laugh. He also said the job gets tiresome, so you have to amuse yourself. When I'm really bored, I like to mess people's...
I mean, the tourists trying to make you laugh, I don't think that's innocent. That's not a big deal. It's the people that are throwing things at you and actually being, not very nice. That's the problem. Not the people saying, hey, anyway. Anyway.
Pictures up. When a load of Asian tourists came and set up a huge picture, I waited until the cameraman was counting down to take the pic, and then marched up and down my post until they all left. He also said that sometimes, perhaps the most embarrassing times, is when a guard needs to urinate but has nowhere to go. He said occasionally you'll see a puddle underneath the guard's feet. If anything were to happen to the Queen, it's good to know that she's got her loyal guard to turn to for help. And if you've got a terrible website, or just need help building a great-looking site, then you've got Wix to turn to. Their hundreds of subscription services. So, do you think you could handle being a Queen's Guard? Do you think you would end up laughing or losing your temper? Also, be sure to check out our other video, How Protected is the British Royal Family?
Well, guys, do I think I can handle being a Queen's Guard? I'm a pretty even keel person. I get along with everybody. I really do for the most part. I'm pretty easygoing, but I don't take too nicely to someone being rude to my face. To trying to like if I was a guard and they were like literally throwing things at me, I'm just literally doing my job. I'm sure you can tell I wouldn't be very happy about that. That would really anger me. It's like, just let me do my job. So I get that. I get that would be an issue. Yeah, to say the least. But, and the fact that you can't go to bathroom break, you can't, you got to wear that really hot outfit even in the summer. You got to just stand there, I've done that before when I was younger. I've had a job. I had a job when I was younger where I just had to stand, holding a sign. Well, it wasn't always. I was working construction when I was, late teens, early 20s. And, you go and you're doing the road sign back and forth sometimes, and your whole day is literally just standing in one place. That can be some of the hardest work, just standing there. And so I can feel that pain. I don't know how long they're on like a shift is where they literally just have to stand there or they only move slightly. But if it's more than a couple hours, yeah, it starts getting hard. And if you got a full day of 6-8 hours of that, that is hard. And the heat just makes it worse. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this. I've been enjoying learning about the Queen and the Queen's Guard and other things about the UK, England, Britain, and I'm just going to continue this journey. Please please click that like button, and also please smash that subscribe button, and join me on my journey to learn about where my ancestors are from, England and Ireland, and I'm going to continue. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you for joining me. I will see you next time.